Hello again everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to start my little mini declutter and deep clean series for the autumn this year 2025, and I wanted to start off kind of slowly. I'm struggling a little bit with motivation, but I know I need to get this done, and so I've decided today or this weekend I'm going to be starting with starting with the toilet and bathroom, and I'm going to go through each room one at a time. I've decided to do a declutter of the room first and then go in for a deep clean of each room, so that I'm kind of hitting all the points in one go rather than trying to declutter the whole house, which is chaos, and then deep cleaning the whole house. It just feels a lot more if I can break it down into smaller sections like I am. That's going to keep my motivation going a little bit more. And fortunately, my motivation is quite easily bought by buying new cleaning products. So I've got a little bit of a haul for you here, which I'm going to run through now and show you the bits that I'm going to be using for the clean today. Okay, so I went into town this morning on the hunt for autumnal scents. Mainly I was looking for the kind of generic pumpkin spice scent, apple scents, things like that, and town was actually really disappointing when it came to the seasonal scents. I feel like a lot of the shops around here have bypassed the kind of autumn season in the scents and just they've gone straight for Christmas. So there are a lot of Christmas scents out there, which I'm very excited about for my Christmas cleans, but I kind of had to make do for the time being today with more kind of harvest scents, kind of orchard, apple, pear, orange, and slightly spiced scents. So that's what it's going to be today, but I'm going to run through them anyway because they're still cleaning products. They're still going to clean. You don't need to run out there and buy pumpkin scented cleaning products if you don't want to. Use what you've got. Go out and get new if you want to, but I find for me my motivation is bribed quite easily by new cleaning products, and so I picked these up. So I'm just going to grab them out the bag as they come. They're not going to be in any particular order, and I've tried to focus today on the cleaning products that I'm going to be using for the toilet and for the bathroom. So the kitchen ones, I'll go out and get separate ones for that when the time comes. So I went into two shops today. I went into Pound Stretcher and I went into Savers. Most of it I ended up getting from Pound Stretcher. I was really trying to avoid Asda today. Asda on a Saturday morning, zero fun. So anyway, there are a couple of bits in here that are absolutely not seasonally scented at all, and this is one of them. I've got the Pink Stuff Miracle Foaming Toilet Cleaner. This is just a bit of fun really. It's probably very good at actually cleaning the toilet, but I just like the way it fizzes up. It just makes you feel like it's doing a more thorough cleaning job. Usually I do use the Harpic, the black Harpic or the blue Harpic in my loo, but today we're just gonna, in order to keep it fun and to keep my brain going, we're gonna go for the foaming powder. I think you get, what, 3 in here? Yeah, 3 sachets in here. Next up I have got Zoflora, which I was really hoping I could find an autumn scent in, and sadly they had only like the normal, like the lemon zing, the fresh linen, and one of the Christmas scents, which is cranberry and orange, which I think, smelling it, it's Christmas, but it's not like Christmas. It's just kind of that wintry smell. So I'm going to go for this is the cranberry and orange Zoflora, which I've not had before. It's slightly spiced, but it's definitely more orange than anything else, so it kind of fits in with that autumn harvesty kind of scent. Next up I have got some Sif cream in the Enchanted Apple scent, which, I mean, it smells nice. It's barely apple, but it's there, and it's very good for cleaning the bathroom, so I will use this. I'll use it all up in a couple of weeks, no problem. It does do a very good job. I like this product, but it might have been nice from slightly more appley, or maybe apple and pear would have been nice. Next up, I've got the toilet duck, the little sticky on-y ones. What do they call them? Fresh discs. I could only get those in mango, so not very autumny, but I'm hoping, the vanity in me is hoping that they're orange and they'll at least look festive. Well, like autumn festive, you know. Okay. Sorry about that. My camera just came up with a random system error warning, which is something it's never done before. I'm hoping it's not going to be a problem. But yes, I've got the Flash Spray Wipe Done bathroom. I'm basically going to go around and clean most of the stuff with this. And then I'm going to go around with the cranberry and orange Zoflora just to make sure it actually smells even remotely festive. But this actually smells really nice. I'm not going to lie, this smells gorgeous. It's like fresh linen, fresh laundry. It's really yummy. I can definitely see me getting hold of some of this for the spring and summer for cleaning. This is really nice. I might stock up. But yeah, we'll see how it works. I've not used this before in my bathroom, so this is going to be a try and see if it actually does a good job. If it does, great. It was quite expensive though, but it is a big bottle. Okay, so next up, the only actual pumpkin scented thing I could find was this Airwick pumpkin spice reed diffuser. I got this in Pound Stretcher. Yeah, the only pumpkin spice thing I could find in the middle of October. Bit sad. I haven't decided yet whether this is going to go into the toilet or into the bathroom. I'm thinking probably the toilet, because that's where you need a room freshener a little bit more. But it might be a bit overwhelming in the toilet because it's such a small room. So this might kind of bounce between the two rooms as it's scenting things. And then the last couple of bits are just literally actual cleaning supplies. So I've got a set of 3 little microfiber pads, which immediately fell out of their packaging. These were from Pound Stretcher again. These I find don't last very long, but for a deep clean they're actually really handy to have. I found if you try and wash these, they kind of scrumple up and go weird. But yeah, they'll be fine for this. I've got some extra heads for my Dishmatic. As a lot of you know, I use my Dishmatic a lot for a lot of things. And so I've got some replacement heads for that. I've got some toothbrushes that I'm going to use for cleaning. I tend to use the cheap ones for cleaning because I can just throw them away when I'm done with them. Obviously they last a good 3 or 4 months of being used before I throw them away, but they're nice and cheap to replace, so I've got those. And then completely, well, not completely unrelated, but not cleaning, I've got a lovely big Astonish hand soap. We have this one at work. It smells gorgeous. It's really nice and floral. I was hoping to be able to find, again, an autumn scented one. No such luck. I think if I had have gone into Asda, I probably would have found autumn scented hand soaps and stuff. I know they've got like a lot of the gift sets coming in for Christmas, so I could have got, I reckon I probably could have got a nice kind of spiced apple or something scented hand wash, but we use this one at work and it smells lovely. So that's my little haul. I also got oh sorry, missed one, a Viacal. I use a lot of Viacal. I've already used so much of this. Look, I got this the other day and I used a lot of it. But I also got, because I'm going to be doing a declutter and a bit of a reorganise, I got some baskets from Pound Stretcher that I'm hoping are going to fit into the bathroom cabinet, so that we can each have our own basket with our own kind of toiletries and stuff in. We're all at the age now where everybody wants to have like their own body wash, their own shampoos, their own tube of toothpaste, their own face washes and stuff, depending on their own personal needs and desires. And so I got 4 of these so that we can have our own products in our own baskets, and there's no confusion and there's nobody else using other people's things, which is a problem. So without any further ado, let's head off into the bathroom. I'm going to start off by decluttering the bathroom cabinet, and then I'm going to move everything out of there, and we're going to have a lovely big scrubby deep bathroom clean today. Right, so off we go. We are in the bathroom and I'm emptying out currently the little cabinet that sits underneath our bathroom sink. I would love to have this kind of built-in one day, like a built-in cabinet with a kind of tabletop sink. I like the idea of those, but for now this is what we've got. So I'm just taking the labels off of these 4 baskets that I bought earlier. Fortunately they do fit. They are not a perfect fit, it's a bit of a squeeze, but they are easy enough to put in and pull out of this cabinet, as you can see. Now the first thing that I noticed when I went into the cabinet is that actually it's already pretty good clutter wise. We're not holding on to bits anymore that we don't use. I think there was only 2, maybe 3 things in this whole cupboard that we weren't using. So the declutter was very, very easy, and then it was just a case of putting all the bits into their respective person's box, which again was really quite easy. I probably made a couple of mistakes and put some of Rachel's stuff in with Izzy's and vice versa, but once everything was kind of in everyone's boxes, it made way more sense and it was nice and organised in the cupboard, so it actually worked out amazingly well. Am I expecting the rest of the house to declutter this easily? Well, absolutely not. The rest of the house is absolutely a nightmare. However, now that we each have our own little baskets in the cupboard, I can just say to somebody, look, if your stuff is starting to spill out the side of your basket, or if you're finding that you are needing to put it in the middle of the cupboard where there's like extra space, then please take the time to declutter your basket. All of your bits should fit into your individual baskets. Now I'm not including shampoo, conditioner or shower gel bottles in these baskets because obviously they're significantly bigger and they also have a home already by the bathtub itself. So this is just for little bits like face washes, spare toothbrushes, skincare and bits like that. So yeah, it worked out really, really well. Okay, so that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So I've got my stuff, Rachel's stuff, Izzy's stuff. This one I got for Adam's stuff, but he's like, I don't have any stuff, Mum. I just use the kind of shampoo and conditioner that are up here. So I've actually got this for like toothpaste and stuff like that. So we've got that 4th one for toothpaste. So although I haven't actually decluttered anything yet, I'm about to do that with mine, you can already see how much easier it's going to be to do this. I can have each person come through, like I have just grabbed my bits here, and I can now declutter this and know this is my stuff that's been decluttered, and then Rachel can do the same, Izzy can do the same, etc. And then any bits that I've gotten confused and put into Rachel's when they belong to Izzy or vice versa can be easily sorted out. So it's all decluttered, the bath, well not all decluttered, but it's all organised for the time being. I'm going to declutter my bits now, have everyone else declutter theirs, clean inside here, and then I'm going to move this out for the actual clean on the bathroom. But that was actually way easier. So if you've got one of these units and they're really, really awkward and the stuff drops down the back, Raquel, listen, go to Pound Stretcher, get some of these. These are the small baskets because they fit. They fit. The only thing that I'd love is you can see there I've got pegs to put another shelf in, but this only came with one shelf. It would be lovely if, although saying that these bits are probably too tall, it would be lovely if I could put another shelf in there and maybe lay these bits down, and then I could get 2 more little boxes, one for face cloths and one for like makeup remover wipes and stuff like that. Would be really, really nice. But yeah, if you've got one of these guys, these do fit. It's the first aid kit that's making that pop out. Let me just pop this out for a second so that you guys can see they do fit. The doors do close, they hold closed. The only thing that's opening this up right now is the first aid kit. So I'm gonna pop that on top of mine for the time being until I can create or find another shelf to go here, and then that will go on one side of there. So yeah, job done. The declutter of, well, not the declutter, but the reorganise. I should stop saying declutter because it doesn't actually need a declutter in there. Well, my bits don't. A reorganise of that is done. So really now I do need to do a little declutter of this. So basically this is Rachel's shelf up here, and this is like the rest of us. So shampoo, conditioner, body wash, bath salts and things like that for the rest of the family are here, and Rachel's bits are up here because Rachel has a lot of shower stuff. So I'm going to declutter these, tidy them up a little bit, and then we can get going with emptying this room out and starting the big clean. Right, so off we go, starting with the big clean and by moving all of the bits out of the bathroom. I have already taken the towels that live on the back of the door on the hooks you can see there. They are already out, and now I'm just going through these bits and, like I say, just decluttering what we don't use, any excess bottles and things like that, or any bottles where we've got more than one open at the same time. And just popping them together so that we don't have excess floating around. I noticed with Rachel's conditioner she has two of the same conditioners open at the same time, so I'm just emptying the remnants of one into the other so that she's only got one bottle to kind of get in the way, and then I can take this unit off. So I had a little bit of fun with this unit. It came off beautifully. I didn't dismantle it, I didn't change anything, I didn't change the hooks or anything like that, but it would not go back on the wall. So at the end of this bathroom clean, you are not going to see this unit back on the wall because it was, let's say it was messing about a little bit. So moving on and getting the rest of the towels taken out. I'm also getting some things taken out of the bath that I put there earlier when I began the declutter. I'm just making sure that I've got as much out of this room as possible. So I'm now taking the bits away from the sink. I'm going to take the bin, and I'm going to take this unit out, which is going to give me a completely kind of blank canvas. I find when deep cleaning a room, it's very beneficial to me personally. Everybody else works differently, of course, but for me, I find it's so much easier when everything that I can get out of the room is taken away from the room. It means I can really get in there, get behind things and clean those areas that don't often see a microfiber. Now down the back of this unit is absolutely, definitely one of those spaces in my home. I don't like pulling that unit out because all the stuff always falls on the floor. But as you can see today, there was a couple of bits behind it, but nothing actually fell on the floor, which was lovely. Which now means that I can move this unit out a lot more frequently and get behind there, which I'll be very glad about because it was incredibly dusty. So moving on to the next task now, I've just taken the shower head off. Because it likes to kind of drip and lose water all over me while I'm underneath it trying to do things. Doesn't drip any other time, only when I'm under it. I don't know if it's something to do with the movement of me in the bath or something, but it tends to drip on me, so I've taken that off. And I'm just taking these dispensers off the wall. Now these dispensers seemed like a really, really good idea at the time. There was one for shampoo, one for conditioner and one for body wash, and I thought, perfect, that means we don't have to have bottles all around the edge of the bath. We can just get into the shower and we can use those dispensers. But they are rubbish, absolute rubbish. It took, you would constantly just kind of bashing these things to try and get any kind of shampoo or conditioner out. Conditioner was the worst one, it never used to give any at all. Body wash was awful. I think the easiest one to get it out of was shampoo, but it was significantly quicker just to grab a bottle and squeeze it out into your hand. And therefore it was time for these to say goodbye, which took a little bit of time. As you can see, the stickers did not want to come off. Next up was spraying a little bit of the old Viacal onto the shower head to let that sit for a little while to make sure that was all nice and descaled. So I'm going to leave that to sit for probably 5 to 10 minutes while I crack on with the tiles. So I'm going to be trying the flash spray today. This is the spray wipe done in the bathroom scent, well, in the bathroom mixture I suppose, and it's got like I said before, like a clean linen, soapy, it's actually a really nice smell. It's kind of similar but not the same as the old scent they used to do called French soap. French soap was my absolute favourite flash spray. It had such this lovely, comforting, warming, soapy, clean smell, but not in a kind of chemical way. It was just like, I don't know how to describe it. It was this beautiful soft scent, and I can't find it anymore, and I suspect they have discontinued it. But this scent, there's a little kind of hint of it in there, and that kind of brings back warm fuzzy memories for me. So I'm going to be having a go with it today on the tiles, as you've just seen, on the silicone and a few extra places in the bath. And looking back on it now as I'm doing the voiceover, it's actually really good. I actually really like using it. The only thing that I would say is, if like me you are going to use it on high gloss tiles, you might want to rinse it, or you might want to go around afterwards with a nice clean dry microfiber cloth and just give it a little bit of a buff. It did streak slightly, and I mean slightly. Like if I go around and I use a different kind of spray or anything like that, I get way more streaks than I do with this one. I think the only thing that would streak less than this would probably be like a glass spray, and even they streak. So this was very, very good. It did an amazing job. It got the muck off the tiles really, really easily. There was a lot of grime on them that you can't really see on the camera, but it did a really nice job, and it left this really, really nice scent. And as you can see from the footage, I did use quite a lot of it, and there's still absolutely loads left in the bottle. So although it was a little bit on the expensive side, I think it was somewhere around the realm of kind of $2.89, something like that for the bottle, and I bought this one in Savers. Might be cheaper elsewhere, I didn't really look, but I think it's worth it, and I think I'm going to pick this one up again because A, I like the results that I got from it, but B, it's reminding me of that old French soap smell I used to have, and I loved that so much. I wish they'd bring that back. So I'm now moving on to the shower itself, the actual main body of the shower. The head is still soaking in the sink, and I've just sprayed a little bit of Viacal onto my sponge, and I'm just using the sponge to work into all of the chrome on the shower and on the shower heads, on the taps. I'm sorry I'm a little bit out of frame here, but I'm currently working on the taps. They are a little bit difficult to reach with this shower door. I've mentioned it several times before, but because they're difficult to reach, they don't get cleaned as often as I would like to. So I really wanted to make a good job of getting this shower and particularly the area around the taps cleaned today. Now the areas on the tiles where I noticed the most streaking were where I actually caught it when I was rinsing the shower off. The reason why I did the shower first was because this has happened to me before, and then once it's rinsed off and dried, I'm going to go over and do the tiles behind it. But it's now time to get that Viacal off the shower head. But yeah, like I was saying, the streaking areas on the tiles were where I'd caught them with that shower head when I was rinsing that off. So I don't know if that made a difference. Maybe if I try again another day, I'll see if they still streak. Or whether it was just the water from the shower that did it, and I'll let you guys know. But yeah, as you can see, I'm going around and doing the tiles behind the shower afterwards, because I've had this happen before where the actual water from the shower head has been the thing that's made the streaking rather than the cleaning product that I was using at the time. Now, as you can see in the bottom of the tub there, I have a drop cloth for decorating and the bathroom mat. Some of you may remember the last time I took this shower head off, I dropped it into the bathtub and it chipped the bathtub, it damaged the enamel. I have actually patched the enamel, it's holding really, really well. There's been no signs of chipping, no signs of rust, but the patch stuff that I did use to patch the the little chip has discoloured, so we do have a different colour little bit in the bath, but it's okay, it works out like an extra one of those little kind of rough bits that help stop you from slipping, so it's worked out not too bad. So I'm popping a little bit of the Viacal spray on the shower door. I found this, for me personally, is the best thing. This works really, really well. I pop it on there, I lightly kind of, I don't know, spread it out, stroke it on, however you want to say it, with the microfiber cloth, and just leave it literally for maybe a minute or two, and then it tends to rinse off nice and clean. On the side closest to the sink, the one that I'm doing now, it doesn't need as much, so I put it on and take it off straight away with some clear water rinse, and then I'll just go over it with my little window vac there and get all the moisture off, and it comes out squeaky clean and crystal clear every time. So if you are having issues with watermarks on your shower screen, I do not clean this very often at all. It's lucky if it gets a clean once a week, if that's anything to go by. It gets a wipe down once a week, but an actual lime scale removing clean, I would say it probably only gets once a month, and this still removes it. So if you are having issues keeping your shower screen clean and you do have a bit of build up on there, please have a go with the Viacal spray. It's pretty good stuff. It is quite strong, so make sure the room is well ventilated even. But it does a fantastic job. As you can see there, there's no streaking, there's no build up on there, there's no soap scum on there. The Viacal is very, very good for that kind of thing. So I've just removed the little strip at the bottom of the glass. I don't know what they're called, just like a little strip that stops the water going through. On normal showers, I'm sure. On ours it doesn't really, the water still goes underneath it. It's not fitted very well, and this thing gets really, really mucky. It's like this kind of little plastic sealing strip. I don't know what they're called. I can't think straight today, but you know what I mean. The little strip that goes on the bottom tends to get filled up with mould and mildew and all that kind of nasty stuff. So I'm going over it today with, again, some more of that flash spray. I've got some hot water in the bathtub that I can give it regular rinses with, but I do end up going out onto the landing where I've got like a little cleaning pack that I've bought upstairs. Well, I've got this really long kind of straw brush. I've got one that I use downstairs for our straws and one that I keep upstairs that I use for cleaning, and it gets into the groove of this really, really well and gets most of the muck out. Is it 100% completely perfectly clean? No. You just can't get into these things, and short of buying a new strip every month, I don't know what else I can do. So if anyone's got any tips for how to get those plastic strips clean, please let me know in the comments and I will give those a go, because it's kind of got a hard water residue on it at the moment. So next up for the cleaning is going to be the bathtub itself. I'm giving it a little rinse out first, because that drop cloth left a lot of kind of bits and crumbs and hairs and stuff from where we've been using it for decorating in the bath, and I want to rinse those out first, get the bathtub itself nice and wet, and then I'm going in with that Cif cream in that apple scent, which is quite nice but a little underwhelmingly appley. I have decided, guys, that I'm going to be making some of my own autumn scented house cleaning spray. So look out for that video, that's coming up soon. I have already ordered the bits, so it's definitely going to be happening. I'm hoping it's going to work. I'm kind of going along the kind of Purdy and Fig vibe, but a homemade version. I really want them lovely cozy autumn / winter scents. I can't find them at the shop, so I'm going to make my own. So keep an eye out for that video if you are interested in that. Homemade cleaners are a very easy thing to do. They tend to be very, very cheap, and of course if you're using essential oils or carefully selected fragrance oils, you know, you can really make them whatever scent you like. You do need to be a little bit careful, particularly with the essential oils. They're not going to irritate them, they're not going to damage, but on the most part you can Google and find out things like that. So if you are interested in making your own home cleaner, that's going to be along the lines of Purdy and Fig. Please keep an eye out on the channel. That will be coming very, very soon, maybe even next week. It depends on how long it's going to take all these bits to arrive. But I'm looking forward to having those, so I've got some of that lovely autumn scent going on in the house. Next year I'm definitely going to get more ahead of the game and order these bits earlier so that I've got them ready to go throughout the entire season. So now I've worked all of that stiff cream into the bath. It's had a really good scrub, it's looking good. I've also sprayed some Via Cal around the plug, so that's doing really well as well. And we've given it a little rinse out, and that's it for the bathtub. Moving on now to the sink. Quick whip round with the old stiff cream cleaner again, as you can see. I apologise, that footage is maybe a little bit too quick. I was trying to keep the video quite short because obviously you guys have seen me clean my bath a million times, and I think I may have sped that up just a little bit too much, so apologies for the dizziness there. But yes, the sink has been cleaned with a little bit of the stiff cream cleaner, and now I'm going to go back in with that lovely flash spray and get those tiles clean as well, so that's all feeling nice and fresh over there. I do have another one of those kind of stick-on hooks on that wall that I was meant to get to today, and somehow went kind of blind to it. I just forgot to do it, and I didn't even notice it while I was cleaning, but I do need to get that off as well. So now that the main areas of the room are kind of clean, the sink, the bath, the shower, I'm going to move on to these kind of weird areas that don't get cleaned very much. And I've got a sink full of nice hot water, and I've got my cranberry and orange, so Flora, in there. So we're really going around to more kind of dusting and scenting the room now. It's going to be wiping down all those bits that don't get done very often, wiping down the walls, cleaning the extractor fan, those kinds of things that you do really maybe once or twice a year. Certainly for me, I don't do them any more often than that, and I can do it with the Zoflora, and that's going to make it smell really lovely in here, which it did. Just a little word of warning, if you are using Zoflora in hot water like I do, please be careful. Make sure you're in a well ventilated room, make sure you've got no pets nearby unless it is the pet friendly Zoflora, and make sure you're wearing gloves. I have found nothing dries out my skin like Zoflora, even diluted. It really dries out my skin. It makes the skin around my knuckles crack, it's that dry. So please make sure you're popping on some gloves or using a really mild dilution if you're going to be putting your hands in these, and make sure you wash your hands very well afterwards. So these walls are not too bad, not as bad and dusty as I thought they were going to be actually today, but I have noticed, I don't know if it's a paint thing or if it's a plaster thing, but since we've had the bathroom replastered and repainted, the walls kind of, I wouldn't say ooze, it's not that kind of, it's not that disgusting, but they kind of weep an orangey colour. It's either the plaster behind the wall somehow coming through the paint, or it's the paint itself maybe separating on the wall. I don't know what paint they use, this is just the paint that the builders used. It's a silk, it's wiped clean, but it kind of weeps this kind of orangey, it's almost like a very mild rust weeping through, and it's staining the wall, whatever it is. So I'm going to have to come through and redecorate in here. But if any of you guys are or know or are married to painters and decorators, could you maybe give it a little ask and try and find out why the walls are kind of weeping orange? I might try and get a picture of it at some point and put it up as a post on my YouTube, because I'm probably not doing much justice to it kind of describing it. But yeah, I really need to come through and redecorate in here very early on in the new year. It might be one of my first projects. I haven't really been able to decide on a colour so far, which is why I haven't done it yet. But yeah, it's one of the things I want to get done really quite sharpish, because with the walls kind of weeping that weird orange, it is like a plastery colour. I just don't know what to do. So yeah, I'm going to redecorate instead. So I'm just cleaning the door now. We're pretty much at the end of the line for the deep cleaning here. I did do that top window and around there the other day as part of one of my monthly daily cleans. So that's already been done. So I'm just going to do the back of the door itself. And then I can move on and get the floor done. And that is actually going to be it today. That felt like a lot for one room, but I really hadn't realised how grubby it was getting in here. So I'm really glad that it's done. I'm feeling very good about getting this first day out of the way. Tomorrow I'm going to be moving on to the toilet, which again should be a nice easy day. But I'm not going to second guess anything anymore because this took way longer than I thought it was going to. And we had to have a good few breaks. But yeah, I'm literally just going to spray the floor with a bit more of that Flash. And I've got a really hot mop here. And I'm just going to clean that up with that. And that's going to be it for today. And move everything back in. And we're going to call it a day for there. Okay, so here we have it. The bathroom is all finished, all deep cleaned, reorganised, looking really nice. And just clutter free. The only problem I have, as you can see here, is that the unit that I took from the wall here, the little black metal kind of double shelf, came off the wall where it's been hanging there for years. These have not been adjusted in any way, shape or form, but when I went to put the shelf back on the wall, somehow they no longer fit. So I tried a few different times to put the shelf back on the wall and it wasn't having it. So I dismantled it and put it back together and then put it on the wall. Wasn't having it. Tried kind of assembling it whilst it was hanging on the wall. Wouldn't have it. For some reason these now don't align. I don't know. There's no real reason. Several of us have had to go putting this thing back on the wall and it's just not having it. So I've given up. I've ordered another lovely unit for on this wall. It's a nice wooden one, like a bamboo colour wood, and so we're going to have the toiletries on there. I will get these stickers off tomorrow, although I might keep those two just for hanging these on because we don't have anywhere to hang these. I'll get rid of these two. So we'll have the new shelf there, which does have a built-in towel rail at the bottom of it, which means I can take this one off, which I've been wanting to do for a really long time because this is an awkward place. So basically when we are here in the morning and the evening, we're brushing our teeth, we're washing our faces, you kind of need a towel here. And we've got like this little towel holder here that my ex-husband put up, but it's over the sink, so you can't really, I mean you can put a towel on it, but it looks strange. So this needs to either move over to here and have a towel on it, which I still don't love because it's going to drag on the pipe, or option B, eliminate this altogether, put a towel rail either over the radiator, which is where I prefer it, or put the towel rail here so you've got a towel to grab that's next to the sink. And then we'll have the unit on this wall here with toiletries on the top and with its own built-in towel rail underneath, which I think is going to look a lot better than this at the moment. But I've put a fresh towel on there. I've put all our toiletries on here for the time being. I am going to retain the black metal unit that was up here. I'm going to buy some more command hook strips, but I'm going to put it up actually in the shower so that when we're having a shower we don't have to plod up to the other end of the bath, which of course is slippy. Oh, but beautifully shiny right now. So yeah, we'll have toiletries up here, main kind of shower stuff here. We'll have a towel rail somewhere across here, and then I've just got to put the shelving unit back on the wall. But I want to buy some bits for it first, so I've left it downstairs for some measurements so I can buy some new bits. I've popped the new soap out, and of course we have everything now organised in here. So feeling very good about day one clean. It took longer than I wanted it to. It ended up taking all day long because I had a break quite regularly. But tomorrow is Sunday, so tomorrow I will still have time to get the toilet room done before my weekend is over. So once I have put the shelf up and done the toilet and bathroom, I can get this video uploaded to you all, you lovely people. So there we go. This is day one, deep cleaning and reorganising complete.